A Grand Tourer or GT car is typically defined as a car with a combination of performance and luxury, capable of high speeds over long distances. Most commonly, GTs are configured as a front-engine, rear-wheel drive coupe with 2 doors and 4 seats, often a 2+2, with the rear seats only suited to small children. Think of classic 60s cars like the Aston Martin DB5, Ferrari 250s and the Maserati 3500 GT. Although prices for these are well into 6 figures and multiple millions for the Ferraris. I've picked out 5 luxury Grand Tourers that you can buy in the UK today for under £20,000, and in some cases well under. 3 come from classic British sporting brands, 1 from an historic Italian marque, and then keep watching for something unexpected from more distant shores. Let's start with the obvious pick, the one that has spawned many a what-if conversation over a pint of beer, due to it being a big chunk of top-end luxury motor car for a bottom-end price, the Bentley Continental GT. The Conti GT was the first all-new model for Bentley under VW ownership, and therefore not having an equivalent Rolls-Royce badged model. It broke cover in 2003 and has recently evolved into its 4th generation, which is sold still today. First generation, which is what comes in under £20,000, has a 6-litre twin-turbocharged W12 engine. Think of a W12 as being the combination of 2 narrow-angle V6 engines, where all 6 cylinders are staggered into a single bank. Its slight imbalance means it isn't as smooth as a V12, but it can fit in a space 24% smaller. This W12 delivers 560 PS and 650 Nm of torque through a 6-speed ZF Tiptronic gearbox, and can accelerate to 62 mph or 100 km/h in 4.8 seconds, going on to a top speed of 197.6 mph. When new in 2003, the Conti GT was priced at upwards of £110,000, or £217,000 in today's money, allowing for inflation. So being able to find them at only 5 to 10% of the original sticker price seems rather tempting. It is a beautifully styled car, but had something of a Premier League footballer image when new, and given the low value of them today, it will be harder to find a Conti GT that's still serviced and maintained by main dealers or Bentley specialists. These factors mean that buyers of the cheaper examples are having to take a large dose of bravery pills. The next pick is the Aston Martin DB9, which first appeared in 2004 and was the successor to the DB7. What happened to the DB8, I hear you ask? Well, Aston Martin were concerned that it might have suggested V8 power rather than the V12, which sits tucked back in the engine bay. They also felt that DB9 would convey a greater advance of the all-new design from the DB7. The DB9 was the first generation of Aston's VH, or vertical horizontal platform, that underpinned all of its car designs from 2003 to 2016, formed of bonded and riveted aluminium and composite materials. It was powered by a 5.9-litre normally aspirated V12, typically mated to a 6-speed ZF Tiptronic gearbox, although a manual transmission was an option. The V12 delivered 456 PS and 570 Nm of torque, allowing the car to reach 62 mph in 5 seconds and giving a top speed of 186 mph. Early styling work was done by Ian Callum and completed by Henrik Fisker prior to production. Over its 12-year run, the DB9 underwent several facelifts and also spawned the Brute in a Suit DBS, the Gentleman's Express Virage and the very beautiful Vanquish 2. The next pick is the Maserati Gran Turismo, and it's also achingly pretty thanks to its Pininfarina styling. It isn't as though Fiat and Maserati spent a lot of time perfecting it either. It took only 9 months from design to production, which was an industry record at the time. Why so short? Well, the original design, that had been worked up as a replacement for the Maserati coupe, was too expensive to build and sell with the Trident logo, so it became the Ferrari California. In 2007, the Gran Turismo was launched with a Ferrari-developed 4.2-litre V8, delivering 405 PS and 460 Nm of torque through a 6-speed ZF automatic transmission. It could hit 62 mph in 5.2 seconds and had a top speed of 177 mph. A year later, the Gran Turismo S came out with a larger 4.7-litre V8, developing 440 PS and 490 Nm of torque, via a 6-speed Graziano automated manual box. These power and torque increases resulted in a 4.9 seconds time to 62 miles per hour and a top speed of 183 miles per hour. 18 years on, the Gran Turismo styling still looks gorgeous today, with curves that don't seem to age the car at all. Although Maserati interiors can look a little cheap and worn compared to the Bentley and Aston. Back home now to the UK and the Jaguar XKR. For sure, the 1996 XJS-based X100 cars were prettier, with lines and shapes harking back to the E-Type, but for the budget you can also get the second generation Ian Callum styled X150 XKRs, which are more spacious inside and give a nicer ride. Launched in 2007, the X150 XKR had a 4.2 litre supercharged V8 rated at 416 PS and 560 Nm of torque, which could clock 62 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds. From 2009 onwards, the XKR received a new 5 litre supercharged V8 capable of 510 PS and 625 Nm of torque, and was 0.3 of a second quicker to 62 miles per hour. Both cars, however, were limited to a top speed of 155 miles per hour. These hairy-chested Jags seem to fall out of favour over the last decade or so, due in no small part to the launch of the incredibly sexy F-Type, which replaced them. But both generations of XKR are seeing renewed interest lately as modern classics. As I hinted at in the introduction, my last pick is something of a wild card, which straddles the categories of Grand Tourer and muscle car. It is the Vauxhall Monaro. Conceived and built by their General Motors cousins in Australia, the Vauxhall Monaro is based on the 2001 third generation Holden Monaro, a car that was also badged and sold in North America as the Pontiac GTO. Powered by a 5.7 litre normally aspirated Chevy V8 from a Corvette, coupled to a 6-speed manual gearbox, the Monaro turns out 333 PS and 465 Nm of torque, enough to reach 62 miles per hour in a raucous 6 seconds and roaring on to a top speed of 160 miles per hour. The Monaro's down-to-earth origins, humble badge and hooligan engine sound might be better suited to US Route 66 or the air highway between Adelaide and Perth than to a glamorous arrival at the Monte Carlo casino, but the Monaro experience of an uncomplicated V8 is not to be missed. Or in Jeremy Clarkson's words, it was a triumph of torque over intelligence. Leave me a comment below on which of these budget Grand Tourers would be your pick, or let me know of others you think should have made my list. Finally, don't forget to give the video a like and share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on classic sports cars and Grand Tourers. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.